Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ryan Newple here, Knup Sports Show, episode 160. Super excited for today's show. Hey, we're back. I'm in a little different location, but guess what? The show must go on. We will continue. I appreciate everybody tuning in, listening to everything we do here at the Knup Sports Show. We always like to bring in guests in this space, guests in sports business, guests in iGaming, people that have done something special and are doing something special in this space. And today we have another guest that really I'm excited to talk about. I'm excited to learn more about, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it as well. So let's, without further ado, bring Stephen Dunham on with Play Globally. Stephen, how are you?
Hi, good to see you, Ryan.
You as well. Really appreciate you joining me today, Stephen. I'm excited to hear what you have going on. But first of all, how are things there in San Diego?
Oh, things are fine. You know, it's probably the most boring job in the world is to be a weatherman out here in Southern California. We are on the over-under. We're at 68 degrees, so we hit the under today, under 70. But it works out just fine.
Good. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you joining me here today. I'm excited to hear more about Play Globally. But first, I want to hear a little bit about yourself and maybe a little bit about your career path and what got you to where you are today.
Sure. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. I have probably the most unusual career path of anybody that you've ever had on your show. Congratulations, by the way. I love your show. You've got very interesting characters and leaders, and everybody is really unique in your interviews. So I appreciate being in good company like that.
Appreciate it.
So Play Globally came about as a result of many years of creating unique things. So right out of college, I started a chemical company and grew that. It was in the water treatment industry. We developed a very special type of polymer for water treatment plants. We supplied desalination plants and beverage plants and power plants all around the world. We're the only ones that made this particular type of chemical. And so we grew that and we sold that to some friends of mine up in Canada and did well with that. And so we were kind of sitting around one day and thinking about, how we can make horse sports, rodeo sports, ranch rodeo, even more exciting than it already is, I grew up in a horse family and it's a lot of fun. Have you ever been to a rodeo, Ryan?
I haven't. You know what? That's on my bucket list. Actually, I need to get to one.
Okay, well, so there's a sport in ranch rodeo called penning and sorting. And in these sports, you have cattle that are in an arena, and a team on horseback goes into this herd and they cut out using their horses. They cut the cattle out in a particular order. So about 3:00 in the morning one night, we were sitting in the jacuzzi, drinking some wine out of the bottle, and we thought, okay, how are we going to make this more interesting? We thought, well, what if we glued gigantic playing cards on the cows, and a team goes in and cuts out their best 5-card poker hand? So we developed this, we started playing with it, we started testing it, and it grew, and it became its own business. And in the second year, we had 10,000 rides. We were in Australia, all across the U.S. We worked with PBR at the PBR Blue Death Finals in Las Vegas. So it was really a lot of fun. And then what happened was very interesting. We saw the value of this going into a digital space. At the same time, COVID was starting to happen. Mm-hmm. So we got IP protection on it. We got a patent on the idea of placing cards on animals and then on athletes. So what if we took it to horse racing? What if we took it to NASCAR? What if we used it in Major League Baseball and soccer and the NBA? And so we continued to develop this. We surrounded ourselves with the smartest people in the industry. Our advisory board, we have Susan Hensel, who's legendary in the space. Victor Prock is a big leader with Incentive Games. Ed Mowat, of course, has been a big help. Anybody named Seth in this industry is so we surround ourselves with some really great people and developed a new digital product called LuckyFans that contemplates live action sports. We place digital playing cards on all the players. A leaderboard plays out, and short version is at the end of it all, you get a 7-card poker hand that's determined by the results of live in-play sports action.
Wow. That is like, my mind is a little like blown at the concept. That's such a unique a unique concept, a unique game. How's that going? I mean, how's that? Has it been adopted? I mean, is it something that people have to wrap their head around, or I mean, tell me where it's at currently.
Yeah,
Where you
yeah.
at in the
Well,
life
it
cycle?
takes a minute or two, and then once you get used to seeing when LeBron James hits a three-pointer, and now all of a sudden you have a full house, that's very, very exciting. So really, the game keeps you right on the edge through the entire match. You can play 1 minute, you can play 3 minutes, you can play an entire game, you can play an entire season.
Really?
So it's been a lot of fun. Right now, this month, we're releasing our prototype. So we have a prototype team that's been working on this very hard for a couple of years now, and we have an app team which will complete the final product. So prototype team is ready for release this month. We're releasing with the NBA. We work very closely with Sport Radar, who's been outstanding through all the prototyping, the testing. So big shout out to those guys. And so we're excited to see where it takes us. In fact, the prototype was working better than expected. So we're going to put it out there live. We're writing the rules right now, and we'll have prize money. And it's free to play. So there's no wagering. You can play it anywhere, anytime.
You just led me into the next question that was on my mind is so it's free to play game, and there's going to be prize money that comes out of that. And now is there this vision that will change in the future? Will it go from free to play to some sort of a buy-in type game, or is it a free to play product forever?
Yeah, great question. Well, we are a very opportunistic company. If there's value there, we want to attach ourselves to that and help drive that. So yes, I mean, it's a random number generated based product, so it would be legal in 4 states if we wanted to go that direction right now. But what I really like is the value for sports books right now, where they're trying to get as many users on board as they can, to do it as efficiently as they can, to do it with something that's unique, retain those users long term, not just be able to do those things with a live game, but being able to acquire and continue to grow their user base and retain users, even in the off season or in the middle of the night when there's no games. So a free to play game like ours has the ability to do that.
I think that's the name of the game these days. I mean, customer acquisition and how you're going to get your leads right. Everybody's fighting to capture people's attention and to get them in the door. And so free to play games like yourself, I mean, are very, very important in that ecosystem, right? And having a unique product like you do, that's so unique than anything else out there. I'm assuming it won't be a hard sell to get into some of these sports books. Now, that's probably easy for me to say, right? But how's that going? Who are you starting to work with? Are you starting to get in with anyone yet? Or how's that journey going for you?
Yeah, it's going great. We've had very, very good responses from everybody that we've spoken with. Everybody wants to see the prototype work. We invite early adopters to come and participate with us. We're very easy to work with. But it's been a very, very good feedback the whole way through. We love the community, and I think the sports books see that there's a lot of value. I mean, look, they're paying hundreds of dollars to acquire a user, and it's no secret that over the past 6 months, even, the numbers are just not as great as they could be. And so in any business, if you can lower your cost of user acquisition, if you can extend your retention in the off season, middle of the night, then, that's good. If you can do it for a whole lot less, free to play, I mean, we're not in the hundreds of dollars per user acquisition.
No,
we're sub 20. We're probably sub 10. There's some models that we have that bring it down sub $5. So there's incredible value there. And especially when you look at our demographics for Play Globally, specifically on this product, you've got people who love sports. It's a poker game. They love to gamble.
Yeah.
And it's totally unique. So if a sports book or two can get their hands on that triage, if you will, then we think that there's a lot of value there.
What's not to love? Sports plus poker equals heaven. And I love them both. Adding them together is like a match made in heaven. So that's amazing. That's a cool product. That's awesome. Now, are you guys planning other products and other games and things of that nature, or is this the core game that you're running with? What's the plan there?
We do. Our rollout plan right now is specifically and very focused on the LuckyFans product. We've learned a lot through the development of our prototype. What's really nice about the way that we built this is that we're releasing it this month for the NBA, but we also have a model for Major League Baseball. And the MLB product is very fun, very exciting, and it turns maybe a little bit slower game compared to basketball. It turns it into something that's very exciting. We have kind of prop bets in between every pitch. And so there's a lot of very interesting things that are focused into that. We do have some other IP that we're developing. We're always driving something that's unique. We're actually writing a patent right now on a new type of wagering product. But those are things that will be rolled out later on. Right now, we're driving the LuckyFans product, reskinning it for NASCAR, reskinning it for PGA, et cetera. And that'll be the rollout for the next 18 months.
Cool. Yeah, NASCAR, PGA, those would be great. I can just envision playing it around those sports would be amazing. That'd be a great time, I think. So,
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, Steven, sounds like a lot of success going on. LuckyFans. So, where do people play it currently? Like, can they download an app and just play it? Do they have to get associated with a certain other site? How do they play it currently?
Yeah, we're officially releasing it within probably about a week or two.
Cool.
And so to get on the special list, anyone can find me on LinkedIn, drop me a note, we'll put you on the list, and then we'll release it. Right now, really the only thing that we're making adjustments to is having it totally compatible with iPhone, obviously. So on Android, it works great. On iPhone, it's a little quirky. We're fixing that now as per normal, and we think we'll have that done in the next week or two.
That's really cool. That'll be fun. We'll make sure that when that does happen, we'll get links out on our site and everything. Hey, yeah. I don't want to let you go quite yet. I haven't gotten my fair share of time yet. So I want to switch this over to business real quick. You seem like a seasoned professional in business, and with the role you have currently and what all you have going on, I'm sure you've had your fair share of challenges. I always like to ask this question, what's one challenge that you've had to overcome, during all of this starting of this company and this game and all of this going on? What's one of the biggest challenges that maybe you can warn other entrepreneurs or other CEOs out there to help them out in the future?
Well, it's the same challenges that we all have. You're an entrepreneur. I mean, you know what it takes. And to me, I don't really see them as challenges. It's just I've always been an entrepreneur ever since I was a little kid. So for me, it's just normal. I think, I find challenges as opportunities. If it was easy, if all the answers came readily, everybody would be doing it, and it would be impossible to be unique. And, we have shareholders, we have lots of allies in the industry, and there's always pressure. Hey, when's it coming out? When are we going to deliver this? Let's go. And the key thing is I think being patient with ourselves and not going out with something that's imperfect, So what that takes is a deep-seated belief in our team, an understanding of the market and availability to pivoting. So many of our current opportunities didn't even exist a couple of years ago, so being opportunistic and patient and having fun with it and never, ever, ever giving up. As you know, as a successful entrepreneur, those are the things that are necessary for any business.
Patience is one of the hardest qualities to have as an entrepreneur, because we want to go, we want everything to happen fast, and we want things to be perfect, right? And just having that patience and belief and trust that you're doing the right things and you're moving in the right direction. Such a good quality to have, but it's tough. It's a tough one.
Yeah, there's a famous movie line that I really enjoy. I think it was in The Princess Bride. And Billy Crystal plays a wizard, and he says, "You can't rush a miracle; you end up with a screwed up miracle."
That's a good one. I'm going to use that one again. I like that quote. That's good. That's awesome. Oh, that's cool. So, Steven, let's move on to just a quick other topic, because you and I are sitting in two states that still haven't legalized sports betting. In California, you guys haven't made it happen. Florida, I really thought we were going to make it happen by now, but some hurdles have come up, and now we haven't. So I know you're not a lawyer, you're not you don't have a crystal ball, but if you were to guess when California was going to legalize sports betting, what would you say? I mean, are we still years away in California?
Oh man. Well, without getting too deep into our politics on this side of the world, I don't think it's any secret that, especially with COVID and the expense pressures that are on our local government. I mean, our gas price is the highest in the whole country, maybe in the whole world, and a lot of that is California tax. You know, the taxes in California they just find a way, and so that deficit needs to get filled. Obviously, this is, I think, the seventh biggest economy in the world. If there's a new revenue stream through sports betting that is massive, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. So that said, it is politics. It does take a while. I'm very optimistic that it's going to move forward. It is moving forward. And the sooner the better. I know there's a ton of support. I don't think there's anybody opposed to it out here. So I think it'll happen.
Yeah, and you keep hearing that, right? I keep hearing nobody's opposed to it, and but it's like, where is it? Let's go. Let's move it forward. I mean, I think there's so much revenue out there for, just like you said, for states that need it. I mean, that clearly need the revenue. This whole like being legal in one state, not in another, just does not. I can't wrap my head around it. Still, it's like, is it legal or not legal? I don't really get it, but it's one of those gray areas I'll never understand. And I guess it's just the beauty of the United States and having state by state governments. And that's just what we got to deal with, right?
Yeah. Like we were saying a moment ago, I mean, it's like a business. We have to just be patient. We have to trust that it's all heading in the right direction. And I'm optimistic that it'll be legalized here soon.
Yeah. You know, the one cool thing about being in the sports betting industry and in this space, right? And having all these states still yet to be legal, it's like there's still so much to look forward to. So I guess that's one thing that I can hang my hat on, is like, okay, it's not like everything's here and we're all live and rolling. We still have so much opportunity here just in the United States for growth. And so that really opens my eyes to like, man, this industry is just beginning in the United States. Sports betting and sports gaming and all the above around it. So lots of fun times to be had, I think, here soon.
Well, here's where we're headed is, and that's a great point out that, yes, let's take Florida, let's take California. I consider those emerging markets, right? It's going to happen. And what's very exciting, and just kind of tying in where the LuckyFans product comes in, is it's free to play. You can play that here. You can play it in Florida. You play it anywhere you want. And remember our demographics. It's exactly the sportsbook demographics. So we have a number of people we're talking with right now who are excited about building those demographics now, investing in California, investing in Florida as emerging markets. And with the flick of a switch, as soon as it's legal, they've got thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of qualified, viable players, instant user base.
I love it. Yes, I knew I asked that question for a reason. It was no, but perfect. I mean, I think that makes so much sense. Having that list ready to go and engaged people that are playing something already that now they can, turn into real users, if you want to call it, whatever, paying users, cash users, however you want to call it. That's so powerful to sports books and operators. So that's amazing. Yeah, I think working in those markets right now is a kind of a feather in your cap. I think that's really cool. So good luck with that. Good luck. There's plenty of people here in Florida, I know, that love sports. They love betting. They love poker, and they'd be all in. So we're going to make sure we get them going here once LuckyFans is up and running.
Outstanding. We look forward to it. It won't be long. Just give us a week or two.
Cool. Hey, are you guys working with any, this is a random question, but are you guys working with any of the sports teams and leagues? Is that a space that you have to get in working with, or not really? Is it more just these operators?
We are. No, we're at this point, again, we're very opportunistic. So we've had a very good conversations. Major League Baseball has been great with us. NASCAR has been really great with us. We have some very nice opportunities, even with Liverpool FC. We have opportunities with 5 Major League ball clubs, which once we get MLB launched and we get the kinks worked out, I think there's some cool opportunities there. In fact, what we're building into our LuckyFans product now is a little factor called the private league. And so you or a sports bar or an entire baseball club can create their own private league. So effectively what happens is that you can be invited to participate in a private game with a private leaderboard with your own set of prizes and your own leaderboard. So
Yeah, sure.
as people play, they can see in real time while they're watching the game, they can see where they're moving up and down the leaderboard. So if you think about going to a Padres game or an Angels game or a Rockies game or a Braves game or the Red Sox, and there's a QR code out in the field and you can join a private league competing with everybody else in the stadium, that's where we're headed. So we think those relationships are really valuable.
Yeah.
And we're excited to start working with them just as soon as we have our product ready.
Awesome, Stephen. Well, it sounds like it's coming. That's great. Well, I'll let you go, Stephen. I know you're a busy man. I really appreciate your time here and all the transparency you gave towards what you guys are doing with LuckyFans and Play Globally and everything that you're doing there. Hey, how can people get a hold of you? I know you mentioned LinkedIn earlier, but what's the best way if somebody listening wants to get a hold of you? What's the best way?
Sure. Just drop me an email. I'm at Stephen with a PH, STEPHEN, Stephen at playglobally.com.
Awesome. Cool, Stephen. We really appreciate it. I look forward to like episode 200 or so coming back. You're live. You're in all the states. You have all this going on. You're with every sports book operator, and we'll get an update here in 6 months or so.
I love it. Sounds great. Thanks for having me, Ryan. I appreciate it.
All right, my friend. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, that was Stephen Dunham with Play Globally. LuckyFans coming out here very soon. Super excited to see that game, and I always love a free-to-play game. Have some great history playing some awesome free-to-play games, and so I'm excited to see another one and see how they go. Hey, for all of you guys tuning in, really appreciate your support for this show. We're up to episode 160. It's been an amazing journey, and we hope to have many, many more. So if you know somebody that wants to be on this, please get them with me. I'm Ryan Nupel at KNUP about on any channel. Find me out on LinkedIn, wherever you can. So, hey, until next time, stay safe. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.